Okay, hi everyone. Cool. I'm back again, another video. Just want to briefly touch on something today. Now, the FA Cup final, Crystal Palace, Man City. Wow, what a game! Literally, what a game. But there's quite a few stuff to get through, quite a few controversial pieces too. Obviously, the main talking point was Dean Henderson. I thought he had a really interesting first half, because there was that moment, right, where I think he somehow misjudged a shot that was coming in. It was pretty wide, but he still sort of like misjudged it and tipped it over for a like corner, right? And I was thinking, okay. So that was a bit of like uncertainty there, but I'm not too sure if that's just nerves. And then obviously following on from that was the actual main talking point with the actual handball where like Haaland's like through on goal, and I don't know what he was thinking. He was just clearly getting his judgments incorrect today. He was just getting his judgments completely wrong. I was thinking, how is this guy just actually like his judgments were really really poor, right? And I'm thinking, wow. But yeah, that didn't even need like VAR. That was just very very clear. He clearly, put his arm outside of the area, slapped the ball away. I'm thinking, okay, even though I personally wanted Palace to actually win this trophy, but I was just thinking, cool, that's definitely a red card. I'm thinking, how did they look at that on the actual monitors and still not think that it's a red card? I'm thinking, wow. Apparently, like they said, it's because something about how it wasn't not denying a clear goal scoring opportunity and how the direction of the ball was going like away from goal. I'm thinking, no, sorry, scrap all that. It's just really clear. Right, the goalkeeper shouldn't be outside the penalty area touching the ball with his hands, and it was very clear. So I'm thinking, wow, wow, it's literally crazy. It's literally crazy rules. Like sometimes the game can, I don't know, like show you stuff. You think to yourself, this is very backward. It doesn't like align with what they're telling us. How can they see that? Look on the VAR cameras, and there's probably two, three people in the actual back room checking out the actual footage and say no penalty, no red card. Thinking, wow, that is just literally one of the most mind boggling decisions I personally can think of in like recent years. That is just literally, yeah, especially now that we have actually VAR, we have technology now. So things like that should not be happening. It's just, there's just no excuse for it. But anywho, not too long after that, obviously, I think it was like Mitchell, right? He brought down, I think it was Bernardo Silva, if I'm right. And obviously that penalty, he just thought, call it straight away. It is Haaland. Like he'll definitely step up and just score. I don't know why Haaland chose in his brain that it would be the right thing to do to pass the ball to Marmoush. I don't know why he chose that. I just don't know why, and it seems very on Haaland like. Haaland does have like a bit of like arrogance to him, etc. And you thought he would be the guy to kind of like step up, boom, like bang it in, done. So, and even the penalty from Marmoush as well weren't even too great. Thinking, oh wow, but they actually mentioned right Lee Henderson's stats, penalty savings beforehand. I think he saved like was it 9 out of the previous, what was it, 25 or something like that, which is actually really good. That's a really good like save that ratio. So I was thinking, okay. And then it came up now, and I was thinking, wow, it just had to be Henderson, like in this moment. Cool. Really, that was a really big, first half with quite a few talking points, quite a few big moments as well. And we haven't even, touched on the actual goal, from Eze as well. That was a brilliant goal. Brilliant goal. You know what I found, really interesting, like with Palace, right, is they don't really have much of the ball, but when they do get it and they break, it's very like efficient, and that's what we saw. So, definitely well done Palace today. Well done Palace, and I thought, call that second half they came out again and they just kind of pushed on, and I just think obviously that they got that goal, right? Which was, I think it was Muniz, right? And obviously, yeah, like you saw it straight away, it's definitely offside. Cool, that fair enough. But the fact that they actually managed to keep out City defensively the whole entire game, it's pretty impressive. But at the same time, right, I think to myself, okay, cool. Um, there's something about City, right? They seem flat. They really do seem a little bit yeah, they seem a shadow of their former selves. They definitely seem flat, and it's be interesting to see how Pep addresses this, like in terms of the actual summer, transfer window, etc. How's he gonna change this? Because and the whole thing with the Kevin De Bruyne as well, and the fact that he's leaving now. Kevin's apparently the actual mood from Kevin is that he doesn't want to go. Like he's happy, like he's settled there, like his family's settled there. So it's like he doesn't want to leave. So I'm thinking, wow, and there's certain points in the game where I'm thinking, wow, like Kevin De Bruyne is just class. I don't understand why City are just gonna let him go. Just like that. I think to myself, wow, I don't think they're ready to let him leave yet because the team needs, like resurgence, and Kevin has something that the others just don't have. But yeah, it's quite interesting. So Pep's got a big summer ahead of him to see how he like addresses this issue of just yeah, there's something has just like disappeared like from City. I'm not sure what it is. Like, even when that Foden came on, Foden just seemed like a shadow like, of his former self as well. This is a player who got what I think it was. What was it like 27, 28 goals the other season? I'm thinking, wow, the house. It's like a massive turnaround. Thinking, yeah, there's definitely something not right there at City, but I don't know. I don't know. Definitely very happy for Palace. Literally the first trophy in their history, trophy number one. Oh man, because I remember like obviously back in 2016 when we beat them in the final 2-1. Obviously like we were very very happy, but I can imagine that Palace fans are probably just thinking, whoa. When is that trophy coming? So the fact to get that first trophy, are just yeah, it's a little bit like Newcastle as well, like this season beating Liverpool. Just yeah, it's that first trophy in so long. So yeah, definitely happy for Palace, completely happy for them as well. And plus they also get the European football as well, the Community Shield. So it's like so many positives from there as well. So that's quite brilliant. But with that City now, it'll be interesting to see how they kind of pick themselves up because it just seems flat. Things just seem so flat right now, like in terms of like City, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very very interesting, man. Like even obviously last night as well with Villa beating Spurs 2-0, Chelsea beating us as well at 1-0. Obviously, it currently has City sitting sixth place as well, so yeah, they're going to have to beat Bournemouth like on Tuesday night, and that's not going to be easy. That's not going to be straightforward. So I feel like City's last two games, like Bournemouth at home, like Fulham away, it's not going to be as straightforward, because obviously both those two teams are still trying to fight for like European football, if I'm correct. But I've got to double check the actual like ramifications of now. Obviously, Palace winning the cup, it does have a domino effect on the actual places. So yeah, it's going to be very very interesting. But yeah, I think City, they've got to definitely step it up, or they could miss out on top five finish, which would be interesting. It would be very, very interesting. I think it's just kind of interesting how like teams can't stay at the top forever, but just seeing the actual drop off because it was only 2 seasons, like ago where they were celebrating the actual treble, just the actual Premier League title. Okay, beating us in the actual FA Cup final and then actually winning the Champions League. So it's like, wow, to go from that to now where they are now, currently sixth place with like 2 games left, no trophy this season. It's like things can turn around so quickly. It's like even like thinking of like Real Madrid as well. Obviously last season winning the actual double, and they just won it in style as well. And then like this season now, it's like a big drop off as well. So yeah, really really interesting. But definitely happy for Palace. I think Palace they definitely earned it. Definitely earned it. Very very pleased for them. And yeah, I hope their players just like enjoy it. The fans, yeah, it's so nice to see fans who have to wait so long to get just like hands on silverware, and they finally got their hands on it, and it's like just enjoy that moment. Definitely just go out there, like enjoy that moment, man. It's just yeah, but I still find it baffling to think how did they look at it on the cameras and see that he's innocent? I'm thinking, what are you looking at? Literally, what are they looking at? It's just so bizarre. Like I remember, right? I think it was we played Real Madrid. Right, this is Champions League. going back to, I don't know, it could have been 2003. I can't remember actually. Yeah, it was 2003. Yes, 2003, right? Where we had the first leg was in the actual Bernabeu. Now there was a moment in the first half when Fabian Barthez, right? Barthez was funny, man. Barthez was one of the funniest goalkeepers that I can think of. He was literally like a really, really funny guy. And I remember that first half, there was a moment where like he was on the edge of the penalty area, right? He came out of the goal and he touched the ball with his hand intentionally, but it was in a way where the referee couldn't really have a clear like view of him. He just pushed it out of his hand. Like he definitely got away with that one. But thinking about that, right? We actually lost that first leg 3-1. I think it was that Ruben Nistelrooy pulled one back right in the second half. That second leg at Old Trafford is iconic. Even though we won that game 4-3, it was remembered for the Ronaldo R9 hat trick. What he done that night, like Old Trafford, incredible, absolutely incredible. It's a pleasure to actually witness something like that as well. But yeah, let's not get too carried away. But yeah, I just don't understand. Like, obviously, just like Dean Henderson, man, thinking, how did they see that and see no wrong? Thinking, bro, the man came out the box, yeah, because he got his judgments wrong beforehand anyway. He came outside of the box and slapped the ball with his hand, and he gets to walk away and continue and save a penalty and pick up the cup. Thinking, when they asked Pep, cool, what do you think? You know that Pep, I can just tell by looking at him that he wanted to go in. He just wanted to just let loose, but he thought, like, you know what? Let's just get through this season. Yeah, like these final 2 games, and I can just take my holiday. Well, you can't really, innit? Because there was the actual Club World Cup. Wow, like, imagine that. The actual season, like, it's soon finishing. There is no major international tournaments, and it's a Club World Cup. Consisting of how many teams? Like, I don't know, what is it, 32, 36 teams? Held once every, 4 years? I'm thinking, wow, that FIFA not playing around, man. This is just, after a very, very long season, that's so demanding, man. Having a 32, 36 team tournament. Yeah, like, you got to play it in the actual states. I'm thinking, wow, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too much, man. It's too much. But anyways, yeah, it's been a great day for Palace, for their fans. So happy for them, man. Literally, it's just been gold. And, I'm touching on the actual game last night, obviously watching, the first half of, Aston Villa Spurs. I think, what Emery's done, right? Emery is so hungry. That's what I like about him. He's just like possessed. He's like, no, I want to get back into the Champions League. It's not going to be like a 1 season thing and then we'll just like go away and probably come back 2 years later. Like, he's like, nah, I want Champions League. Villa are so driven that I just believe that they'll take it. Even though they have all depends on the games tomorrow as well, obviously. But yeah, they got a slight outside chance, but I think they'll definitely grab top 5. And then obviously as well, like with like Chelsea beating us, that was actually, you know what, like we didn't offer too much going forward. Obviously had that goal that disallowed. Right, like, see these little offsides, they're so marginal, so marginal. I'm thinking, wow, we were definitely unlucky with Maguire's goal, because yeah, oh man. But anyways, you know what, we put out a stronger team than what Spurs did. But I thought we didn't play too badly. But yes, Chelsea wanted the points more. Fair enough. But it'll be very interesting to see how we go again, like, for Wednesday. That's the big one now. So that is our focus. Like Wednesday night, and yeah, because even just like Ange, like, he looks like he's just hanging on, like, for next week as well. He's definitely hanging on, man. So it's going to be very, very interesting though. But I genuinely believe that we'll win it. I just feel that we're not in a great shape at the moment. It's pretty clear. But I believe that we're not as bad as Spurs. Spurs just look, I don't know, man. Spurs look a bit worse than us, personally speaking. So It's gonna be interesting though. But yeah, that's just my little thoughts on this one and stuff. And yeah, if anything, we'll catch up soon. Cheers, bye.